Jessica Huseman, editorial director of Votebeat, is with us. Good morning to you. So what is this latest request specifically?
Yeah, so there are specific rules that poll workers, or not, I'm sorry, election administrators have to follow in traditional election cycles. They have to have a certain number of precincts, they have to be in specific places. That's not really possible anymore because some of those places have disappeared or the roads to get to them are no longer there. And so this executive order allows them to pull polling locations together, to consolidate them, and to make some changes to the ways and the sort of methods that voters have to use to cast their ballots in those locations.
Let me ask you this. If you requested a mail-in ballot, but you can't find it, your house was destroyed, it was lost in the floods, can you now go to a polling location, and does that add any complications?
It shouldn't add any complications, but in order for that to happen most smoothly, voters should contact their local county elections office. Florida does have ballot tracking, so you can see where your ballot is at any given time. And if it shows delivered, but you can't get it, that's a reason to cancel your mailed ballot and then show up in person. And that's a pretty easy process for voters to do, given the technology that Florida has.
We're 20 days out. What else should Florida voters know right now in this interim as they're focused on their livelihood, their businesses, their lives, their homes, and then voting?
They should know that local election administrators are there to help them. This is not while this is a really horrible situation, it is not wholly unprecedented in the state of Florida. Hurricanes hit Florida. They often hit during the election cycle because that's the time of year we are in. And so local election administrators are ready and able to help voters that are negatively impacted by these storms, and they should not hesitate to reach out to those offices.
So Florida used to be considered a purple state. It's less of a swing state now. It's really turned more red. I think Trump's up like 4 or 5% or so. If there is low voter turnout and people aren't able to send in their ballots or go to a polling location, does that end up hurting him? Can Democrats pick up some steam?
It could. You pointed out at the very beginning of this segment that mail-in voting is much more popular with Democrats than it is Republicans. You already see that in the numbers. And so to the extent that people are not turning out to vote but are mailing their ballot in, that might have a slight advantage for Democrats. But Trump has also been really mixed on his signals about vote by mail. He at first said it was full of fraud. Now he's encouraging people to do it. The line from the RNC is that Republicans should feel confident casting their ballot by mail. So perhaps that rhetoric will kick up and we'll see a more even shift.
So Florida is one of 9 states, Jessica, with a measure on the ballot to protect abortion access. And you say the state's already making some pretty heavy-handed attempts to punish a group organizing the abortion rights measure on the ballot. Take us into the weeds a little bit on this issue and what we're seeing trend-wise.
Yeah, so this has not gone Ron DeSantis's way from the beginning. You'll remember that a lawsuit at the very beginning of this was concerning wording, and he lost that lawsuit. Now he's going after the group saying, for example, that they have false signatures on the petition. He's actually using his election fraud investigation team to bolster that case against them. The organization in question denies all of that, says that all of their advocacy and all of their recruitment has been above board. But we'll see how it plays out. I don't anticipate that this will have a huge effect on whether or not this stays on the ballot, but it might impact voters' confidence as to how it got there. And so I think that is Ron DeSantis's sort of last attempt to delegitimize this process.
Later on in one of our hours here ahead this morning, we're going to be talking about the Hispanic vote in Florida. What are you noticing trend-wise with some of the polling among Hispanic voters, Latino voters in Florida?
Yeah, I think it tracks very similarly to the rest of the country. Hispanic males are sort of leaning towards Trump, or at least the numbers are suggesting that they are more open to him than they may have been in the past. Whether if that's because they don't like Harris's policies or they're not willing to vote for a woman, I'm not sure. But that's the trend line. I think you'll see evangelical Hispanics also casting their ballots for Trump, and perhaps the unaffiliated younger Hispanics in the same way that they are in the rest of the country may lean towards Harris. But we are seeing a very big gender gap, and that is growing as the polls come in.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.